jumping from the gimbals.
What do we have in the Smallrig case?
Well, I was going to get to that in a second, but I want to get to the Smallrig cage that we have, which is So aside from using your phone with a gimbal, if you want to go more, if you're not looking for gimbal-esque moves, but you still want to have good control over your camera and have spaces where you can add different accessories, you can get something like this Smallrig cage that allows you to add filters, which are a godsend for any mobile filmmaking because the lenses they have are good, but again, everything is stuck in auto because you don't have anything in front of the glass to allow you to stop down the shutter or change the ISO and all that without blowing out or underexposing.
Right,
your
and
image.
one of the hard things about shooting with a mobile phone in particular is that you can't actually change the size of the shutter; it's fixed. So having neutral density filters is huge for that.
And it is key.
Most people have already started using them on drones, so it's nice that they're coming to this as well.
Yes, definitely drones, mobile phones.
I happen to have one here for my FX3.
Yeah. And so I guess we can talk about some of the different kinds because I've got different ones for my drones as opposed to the ones I use for like my phone here. So this one that I have here is actually a variable.
I like the fact that it's magnetic.
Yeah, it's magnetic. It is. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because if you're careful and you know what you're doing, it's good. But if you're a running gun and you're slinging this thing around,
it's just gonna pop out.
Yep. One quick move and there
you're
it goes.
in trouble.
Yes. But so the ND filter I have on here is a variable ND, meaning it can go from one intensity, and as you can see, all the way to a different intensity in steps. So the way you would use this is you gauge, you go outside and you gauge your sun, or you don't even necessarily have to be outside. It can be inside if you want to just cut some light down inside as well. But you gauge your light source and you see how much exposure your camera is getting. If it's too much or too little, you can adjust your ND without having to change any of your camera settings that you want to stay the way you want. And you still can get a proper, good-looking exposure.
That's great, actually. I'm glad they have. I didn't even ask you about that, but the fact that it's variable,
that's variable,
is exactly what you need for a
exactly
smartphone.
for a smartphone. Yeah. And so then
it's such clever and simple technology. It's literally two polarizers just moving past each other, but it makes for infinitely variable exposure. So
exactly. And so you have for some of your cameras, they're not variable; they're fixed.
Don't mind me breaking the giant icicles behind. So this one is variable. This is for my mirrorless camera, the FX3. And just like Anthony was saying, it first of all, the FX3 unfortunately does not have internal ND, and I don't expect most mirrorless cameras to have that. So this is almost a must-have. The downside, of course, is that because whatever lens you put on it may be a different diameter, you need
different size ND filters. Yeah.
Well, you either get multiple ND filters, or you get step-up rings like this. Yeah, so you get the biggest ND filter that most likely is going to be your largest lens, and then get step rings for all your other lenses. It's a lot cheaper that way.
Yeah. ND filters is again a definite must for smartphone filmmaking because, like I said, you can control the ISO to a degree, but with most apps out there, you can increase the ISO, you can decrease it, but most apps start at the lowest ISO there is, and it's still too bright.
Oh, that's right.
So you can't go down even with the new Blackmagic app that they have out there. You start at ISO like 30 or something, or 32 or whatever, and you go out on a bright sunny day and it's still way too bright.
So it starts to increase your shutter, and you don't want that because it's going to make your motion look weird.
Yeah, it's going to make it look choppy, and it's not going to make it look realistic how you would normally see it with your eyes. So that's why you would want to add an ND filter. just to bring back that what they call natural motion blur. When you wave your hand in front of your face, it's not a crisp image all the time, and you maybe can see it here. It's not a crisp image. Well, it's a little bit of a blur.
Actually, yeah, but I was going to say we got like proper LED lights here because if you, for those of you who are wondering, the reason that these let's say motion picture lights cost as much as they do is because they cycle much faster than your home LED lights. So what you would see here, if we had, you might see it in these. You'd see it in these because it'll flicker. It's really annoying.
Whenever you see someone filming a phone or filming lights in slow-mo or whatever, and the lights are going on and off, where the screen has like black bars that are coming down and all that, that's the refresh of the screen or the flicker, the refresh of the light that your eyes can't see because it's happening too quick for your eyes, but the camera can catch it.
Right, depending on its shutter.
Depending on the shutter.
So that's why you might want to spend, if you're in the market for lights, definitely get the proper one, so you won't have that. Otherwise, you will hate yourself. Color science aside, it's a different topic. But anyway, going back to
the cage. So I said that aside from the being able to put on different filters, because I've got an ND filter, and then I also have a nice kind of black pro mist filter or a black mist filter, which basically just takes the super sharpness of a smartphone image and just dulls it down just a little bit. It gives it that filmic, or I guess what they call organic quality, where it just doesn't look like a super crisp, sharp image.
Right. Because you get really nice halation on your highlights.
Exactly,
And it'll bring up your shadow detail as well. So it reduces contrast.
Yeah. So those two filters, which is the one over there, I have for this. I also, so with this cage, it has 1/4-20s all around it, which is quite nice. You can see I've got one in here holding the handle. So I can hold it like that, and there's 1/4-20s.
And I gotta say, that's a pretty slim case.
Exactly, yeah. And it also has one.
It's like smaller than an OtterBox.
Yeah, exactly. It is like it's got 2 cold shoe mounts that will allow me to take any cold shoe accessory like this Rode wireless mic,
which are great for stuff like this.
Yeah, and I can just slide it in here,
and
then I could just out here into my phone, and now I've got professional audio going into my phone.
And the wireless Me that he has over there is perfect for this. I know some people like the DJI mic system. I don't. Only because I like the Rode ecosystem.
Because I don't think DJI has a mixer.
They don't have a mixer. So the wireless mic that he has will actually wirelessly connect to this. They both have, as far as the sound quality goes, they're both very comparable. And if you happen to have a DJI like Osmo, then the DJI wireless mic will connect to that if that's what you're doing. But for stuff like what Anthony and I do, where we run across different brands and whatnot, it's nice to have something more universal. And that one in particular, as you can see, the
the windshield.
Right.
It comes with,
it's facing the operator, and that's because that particular mic allows him to talk to. It'll record his voice, and you have a wireless mic on your subject.
Exactly.
So it records both, and I think that's fantastic.
Yes, that is super, super fantastic. Yeah, we will definitely get into these here in a second. And one last feature, which is an extra that comes with this. So it's the cage by itself. Of course, you can get the filters by themselves. This filter holder
and what size filters are those? Is that a
These are
filter?
50. Well, they're 52, I believe. The holder is 52, and then you can just get this 52 to whatever size.
It's a 52.
I believe it's a 52.
Oh, okay. So it's a standard size, though.
Yeah, 52. Yeah, it's a standard size. So you can go to any regular
photo store, right?
Regular I got really.
What'd you do?
Oh yeah, but it's a
Tony's
regular
breaking
filter size.
Everything over here,
of course, like always. So 1/4-20s all around. How it does is there's this button here. You just press it and it opens up, and then you just slide the phone in, and then you just close it like that, and then I'll demonstrate because I've got my phone here.
No, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do
it. Pop it out of, and you always want to make sure you clean your lenses before. I'm not gonna do this now because I'm not gonna actually shoot with it, but always clean your lenses before you put it in the cage because it's gonna be impossible to clean them once it's in there. So then you just basically slide it in like this.
Yeah, one of these days we'll do an episode about what's in Anthony's camera bag and what's in my camera bag.
Exactly. And so then your phone is ready to shoot.
I'll tell you right now that in both of our kits, there's lens cleaning stuff in there.
Definitely. Lots of lens cleaning stuff. But then, so the last piece of this puzzle that I purchased was this handle. Again, a separate purchase. But the thing about this handle is that, yes, there is another cold shoe mount. So it just gives you another point of contention to hold whatever accessory you want. But it also has this shutter button. Wireless shutter button. Yeah. This button right there.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have to necessarily be touching my screen. I can just boop, and then I'm starting recording.
The Sea Life underwater cage for smartphones.
Oh, nice.
It's very nice. And that one also has quarter 20 connections all around it. Nice. It even has a thing to make sure that you it stays dry inside and lets you know if there's water, and it's got buttons on the outside so you can still control the phone even while it's submerged.
Nice.
So we'll show that next time. Yeah.
We'll definitely get into that.
Yeah. I took a trip to Hawaii and I was just like, instead of getting a full camera rig.
Just get an underwater rig
for your smartphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like why carry so much other stuff? Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, your smartphone is now becoming a very viable. We've talked about this in other episodes. Your smartphone is becoming a very viable filmmaking tool. So why not just get all the accessories you need to bring out its best potential?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So moving on to the Rode. So we talked about it a little bit before, but the Rode wireless audio systems, and Marco, you've got a set as well.
I do. Remember where it is. It's it's somewhere. So I have the Wireless Pro. No, I'm sorry. I have the Wireless Go 2. The Wireless Pro is the one that just came out, and I have to give it to Rode because they really hit it out of the park on the new Pro, because it has time code and it has 32-bit recording, which it means that for this type of filmmaking where you're kind of a one-man person and you got a lot of stuff to think about, you don't really want to be concerned with setting your audio levels, and so the Wireless Pro, actually you can just hit record and you're good.
We talked about that in previous episodes.
That's right.
It's not always good to have automatic stuff, but certain instances and certain situations, it is good to have certain types of automatic features for things.
Although what's nice about that particular mode is that it's not really automatic. It's just got so much range that there's no need to set levels.
So it's like shooting.
It's like shooting raw.
Yeah.
Right.
With the camera.
But you'd have to imagine, which we're not quite there with. Maybe one day we'll get to the point where you no longer need to set exposure because you just record so much data you can adjust it later.
Yeah.
But that's essentially what this 32-bit recording does. Now, the 24-bit recording that's on the system that Anthony and I have is really good. And what I normally do is I usually just leave the pad turned on. That way, if there is a loud sound, it'll usually control it just fine. Because I find that most of the time, I'm not really struggling to hear quiet sounds, at least with the stuff that I would use, something like this. If I'm on a professional film set, obviously they're going to have different gear, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this sort of run and gun filmmaking where you just need something or you're doing an interview. In fact, I'll show you something fun here. So You'll tell them about the wireless me while I go get it. So this is my Rode kit. And by the way, Rode has a new charging case, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, which I plan on getting.
Yeah, I do too, actually. So I might do that, or I might just get or I might do both, get the Rode Pros as well. Anyway, this is the charging case. Very, very handy. So if you have something like that, this is from ZG Cine. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is something I ran into when I was helping a friend out doing a kind of like a little run and gun thing. So watch this. Okay, so let's say you've been asked to do a interview. Well, you can just use these and say, excuse me, can I clip this on you? Mm-hmm. But if you're just doing kind of like little street interviews, which is kind of what we're doing, you can take this, slide it onto this, add a mic flag, and then put your screen protector on there, and you got a proper interview microphone.
Nice. Proper interview mic. Yeah, it's always funny. You see like them street interviews on all the social medias, and they're holding the little lav mic back and forth.
Right, exactly. I mean,
back and forth.
This is what you need.
Yeah.
And take a while to guess on how much this thing cost.
$50-$60, I would say.
No, $29.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is nice.
It is.
Yeah,
and it's perfect for stuff like this because
exactly.
You're like I said, if you're just out there doing like whether it's YouTuber stuff or you're doing like a little corporate shoot for a company or whatever you're doing, like event type stuff.
Yeah.
This is so perfect.
Oh yeah.
This is all you need, and it feels totally official.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you don't have to worry about any wires coming out or anything. It's all nice, good quality. And you can use the mic flags here, so you can put whatever
logo you want
branding
on there. Yeah,
this is nice. Yeah, go back and forth. Here.
Nice. So that is this is the Rode version, and I'm just gonna put that there for comparison because this is the actual.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to really compare the
two, like size wise and all that.
Right. So this is a true ENG like new style microphones, and you can kind of see the difference.
So you've got the true one, and I've got the Rode one.
Right.
Which Well, let me see the heft of that one to see.
Oh, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. And you got the wireless receiver, transmitter here on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they can both get you about the same amount of quality, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Sennheiser has better because that is a Sennheiser, so that's a $900 system. Right. Yeah. So that one is designed to like break through interference, and it's supposed to be like for live stuff. So if you are actually doing like a true ENG thing, then this may be the way to go.
Yeah.
But for most of us that are not doing live broadcasts, this is great because remember the Rode actually records internally.
Yeah.
So even if you do lose signal, you've got the recording backup.
Exactly. Yeah.
This one is meant not to drop signal because you're live.
Yeah.
So that's what you're paying for.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh man, but yeah, that's good. And so so you have the Rode Wireless Go 2 system, the Go 2, which comes with one receiver and two transmitters.
That's right.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yes. I had the Rode Wireless Me, which came with one transmitter and one receiver, but that receiver could also double as a mic as well. The one he was saying, which is actually right here, where you can have an onboard mic that faces the person behind the camera,
which is so clever.
That's
so clever.
But I learned that although that was a good feature, what I ended up typically using it for, I was more so in front of the camera than behind. So I just went and they just released the single transmitter for the Rode Wireless Me.
So go ahead and try it, because this will work with either the GoPro, the Wireless 2, which is what I have, or the Me.
So which way does it go?
Yeah, just like that. Oh, the other way.
Oh, this way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It slides in. Yep. Yeah. So in like that, just with the cold shoe slide.
Mm-hmm.
This goes in, boop, and then just right on top. And there you go.
And there you go.
There you go. That is nice. And for people out there that are more astute and have 3D printers, I believe
you could probably print that.
You can 3D print this thing for like pennies on the dollar, and you don't even have to pay $20. But yeah, and actually, you know what? Our good friend Tyler actually just got a 3D printer, so
you're gonna ask him about it. Yeah,
I would definitely ask him about this. Yes, exactly. This is nice though. It is nice. And they just
I will say, go ahead and 3D print your mic flag, because those mic flags can sometimes cost more than they should. But.
Oh yeah. Well, since we're on the road, I do want to talk about the
no pun intended.
Exactly.
But we can go on the road with this, as you saw with the backpack earlier.
Exactly.
So yeah. This is why I like Rode and why I haven't switched over to the DJI system. You know, if you're on that system, great. You know, it's they're in the same kind of category for what their use case is. But again, I just like the Rode ecosystem.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was saying, since we're on the Rode ecosystem, they've actually just come out with, what was it, the Rode Wireless Pro.
That's right.
Which actually, I think, marries the best features of the Wireless Me and the Go 2. Like, because you were saying, like, with the Go 2, you have internal recording.
That's right.
Well, with the Me, there is no internal recording. But I have the receiver that can double as a mic as well, but you don't have that.
I don't have that.
So with the Wireless Pro, they kind of married all those features, the best features of both worlds, into a superior.
And they gave us the one thing that Anthony and I have been using since the start of our career: time code.
Time code, yes. Time code sync.
Yes.
It is so much easier to sync up numbers than to try and find a clap.
Right.
Because
I've been trying to talk Anthony into using this instead. No more clapping. We're going to use that from now on.
Oh, yes. Okay. But yeah, so with your...
Thank you.
So with any... with any mobile cell phone filmmaking, whether it's iPhone, Samsung, all that, how you interface these wireless receivers and transmitters is through USB cables. So USB out of your phone, right into the receiver, and you've got professional wireless audio. Also, they have lavalier. If you don't want to clip that on yourself or run around with the mic stand, you can just lav here, and you're very, very discreet at that point.
Yeah, and the Rode lavs are actually good enough to be used the way professional. So there's two ways to use a lav. One is sort of your news gathering or interview setting like this, where it's okay to see the mics. But those lavs are actually good enough to go underneath the clothes, and if you have the right attachments for it.